All right, welcome to Buckets, Action Network's NBA betting podcast presented by our guys at FanDuel. I'm your host, Sean Little, filling in for the big dog, Matt Moore, with my guys, Albert Wynn, of course, aka Analytics Capper, and the big dog, the newest Denver resident, Jay Money is Money. This is the Tuesday edition of Best Bets. We have 4 games on the NBA slate. AC, how we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just swept this NBA slate tonight, so I'm gonna go for another sweep Tuesday night.
Yeah, let's do it. Jay, how we doing, baby?
Hey, I'm doing good as well, man. Coming off a little 3-in-1 day, trying to keep it going. Always trying to get some cash, man. Y'all know how it is.
I hear you, man. I went 2-0 last night as well. I'm gonna take the night off. I'm just gonna run PG and let you guys do what you guys do. All right, let's jump into it. AC, I know you have 3 best bets. Lay them out for us.
Yeah, man. So I went 3-0 last time. I'm gonna go 3-0 today, man. I like the Nets -7, the return of Ben Simmons to Philly. I like the Kings +1. I think my guy Jay is gonna ride with me there. And I like Sabonis over 5.5 assists. He's been playing great for the Kings, and he's kind of been the leader of the offense. So I like him to get over this prop as well.
All right, Jay, what are you looking at?
Yeah, man. I'm looking at the Kings here, +1 or money line with significance here, man. I think they keep it going with 7 straight wins here. I'm not betting against them. They're the hottest team in the NBA right now.
Yeah, they are super locked in. It's been fun to see them turn everything around. Been fun to watch them get up and down the floor as well. All right, AC, I'm going back to you. Talk to me about kick us off with whatever bet you wanna dive into first.
Yeah, we'll do the Kings, man. We'll do the Kings. I agree with Jay. Hottest team in the league. This is also a fade spot for me for the Grizzlies. There's no Desmond Bane. John Morant is a little hobbled. Again, I don't really handicap, in reaction to injuries. But Desmond Bane is a really important player for the Grizzlies. He guards multiple positions. He stretches the floor. Awesome three-point shooter. I think he's shooting 42, 43%. And they don't play any defense, man. If you don't play any defense, you're not going to be able to protect that home court. Kings are a short dog. I think they're trying to make you pick the Grizzlies here at home. So I like the Kings money line as well. I'm on +1, but I'll do money line with Jay as well.
All right, give me your second play.
Second play is going to be the Nets -7. The Nets have been playing a lot better recently. They just got done with that West Coast trip. Sunday night, return the Kyrie, and they blew out the Grizzlies. The biggest difference with the Nets right now is they're playing defense, and I know a lot of that is correlated with Kyrie's absence. But I mean, I think as the season goes on, they're realizing their roles. You guys have like Royce O'Neal, you have Ben Simmons, who's playing a lot better, especially in the last 3 games. He had over 20 points in his previous one. He's gearing up. He's getting ready. I mean, a lot of people don't realize he hasn't played in 2 years, so it's going to take him some time, and it's perfect timing right now against a hobbled 76ers team. No Harden, no Maxey. I think it's just too much for Embiid to kind of shoulder. So I like the Nets -7.
All right, then give me that Sabonis, and then we could get back into the Kings when Jay Money gets to it.
Okay, yeah. So Sabonis, I think he's been playing like the quasi point guard for this team. They've been shooting over 50% now. I think 6 straight games. They're on a 7-game winning streak. They're shooting a lot of threes, and that's because Sabonis is playing in that high post, sucking that defense in, and kicking out to his shooters. Whether it's Keegan Murray, whether it's Harrison Barnes, like all these guys that don't really have a big name, but they're playing a perfect role in Sacramento. They have the #1 rated offense right now in the NBA. They overtook the Boston Celtics. And so, I mean, I like this team. I know the Grizzlies, it's no longer the grit and grind here, guys. They don't play any defense, man. So I can't really back that team. John Morant is an awesome talent. He's one of the, young stars, but I don't think he influenced the game enough to really cover a spread like this. So I like the Kings, who are rolling. I know Jay's going to back me up there.
Yeah, I think it's also really interesting, before I kick it to you, Jay, that Sabonis has really been impressive to me because he absolutely does not care about scoring whatsoever.
Yeah.
Whatever he has to do for those guys to get rolling, if they need him to score, cool. But he's not forcing any type of shots. There's games where he scores 6 points on 3 shots. There's times where he's just cleaning up the glass, running the offense. Sabonis and that squad has been very impressive thus far. All right, Jay, talk to me about the Kings.
Yeah, man, I like the Kings. This is my second time taking them here on the show. I took them earlier this season, and they did take the loss. So this is a revenge spot for the Kings. My coveted. I love revenge spots as well, man. Revenge game, Jay, coming out. They've lost 7 straight versus the Grizzlies as well. So the Grizzlies have basically owned them of late. Obviously, this is somewhat of a different squad right here, but I feel like the Kings going to keep it going here. They're the hottest team in the NBA right now. 6 straight wins. I think they make it 7 here. I hopped on them on the money line on the opener plus the money. I still like them at +1. I do think that they will close as the favorite, and rightfully so, to be honest with you. I do think that the road team was favored as open here. So give me the Kings to keep it going. Like you said, like AC said as well, #1 rated offensive team so far in the season and over the last 5 games as well. All they have to do is step up and play a little bit of defense, guard the 3-point line. I see the Kings finally get some revenge over the Grizzlies here. We're going with Sacramento proud here tonight, my guys.
Let me play a little devil's advocate with you guys. Now, Memphis has been strong at the crib, 6-1 at home this year. They've taken 1 loss, and they were hobbled that game as well. No worry about Sacramento going on the road to Memphis.
No word for me. I mean, obviously, like I said, it's a little bit. I don't want to mention the injuries because I don't really care. Obviously, it's 2 different teams that's going up against each other. But I mean, obviously, it's a little bit of different Grizzlies squad here, guys. I do think they're due to take a step back here for a little while, at least until they get healthy and they know that it's not real time where you have to win games. They've been there, done that, kind of going into the playoffs, trying to get further and further. So they know that if they're injured, banged up right now, kind of just get through these games. You see what I'm saying, and really try to stack up some wins when they're healthy. So obviously they have been covering some spreads, but they are only 1-3 straight up and against the spread last 4 games. So haven't been really playing well. No, obviously the Kings, I mean, they've been playing some of the best basketball in the league right now.
Yeah, Sean, I agree with your
only losses against the Boston Celtics, 109-106.
Yeah, Sean, I agree with your sentiments. I mean, it's tough to go into Memphis and play. Maybe it's just Beale Street right off the arena's right off the Beale Street there. Maybe the guys get a couple of drinks. But with that being said, like I'm not worried about this Kings team, man. I think they're still undervalued in the market. They're actually 5-1 away from Sacramento against the spread. So they play really well going on the road. And I think it's because they're a great shooting team. Shooting really travels. And so I think they're going to be able to shoot in Memphis as well. I think that the key here is we know that Memphis is not going to be able to defend them. Will Memphis be able to score enough? And I don't think without Desmond Bane, they have enough shooting to really keep up with Sacramento.
Yeah, I like that. All right, let's talk about Ben Simmons because you alluded to it, AC. It looks like he's starting to put it together a little bit. He's put together 2 games in a row where he's looked aggressive, hasn't mind looking for the ball, hasn't mind the ball in his hands, and that was an issue. It wasn't even. Obviously it's been a mental thing. We know the shooting piece, but he wanted no part of even touching the ball for quite a long period. So it looks like he's been more comfortable with the rock in his hands. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, so the first thing I want to say is I'm not for or against Ben Simmons. I just think that entire situation in Philly just sucks, right? Because they were supposed to be a really great team with Embiid, that core there. Remember, they had Jimmy Butler too for a year. But I mean, in the last 3 games, Ben Simmons, and of course these stats are nothing to write home about, but when it comes to Ben Simmons and where he was the last 2 years, I mean, it's a big deal, right? 3 games ago, 11, 5, and 3. Then 15, 13 rebounds, 7 assists. And in this most recent game, he had 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. I think a lot of that is confidence, man. I think the first 15 games or so, he was deferring a lot to Kevin Durant, and justifiably so. Just KD is one of the greatest shooters, one of the greatest scorers of all time. But the thing that makes Ben Simmons special is he's 6'10". If he gets ahead of steam, he's a freight train, just like a young LeBron James. He can't finish like LeBron, but he can definitely take it to the hole and really force the defense to either suck into him and he'll be able to, pass it out to his shooters, or he has those flip shots around the rim as well.
Jay.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Simmons coming off scoring 22 points, and we got to act like he Will Chamberlain around here, man. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. Obviously, they're laying 7 on the road here. We knew the number is going to come out high. I mean, like I say, I don't really care about injuries, but when you start to get to your second and third best players out, you see what I'm saying? Obviously, those injuries are going to start to matter. I mean, it's a lot of usage that's going. So, obviously, I mean, the Sixers, they were a deep team. Obviously, the coaching is somewhat sketchy, but still, without like 60-75% of the starting lineup are banged up. They do get Tobias Harris back, but I mean, he's not a difference maker for me. It's also the 76ers 5th straight home game, so it's not something I necessarily like to bet against, but I can tell you it's Nets or nothing for me in this spot. Obviously, Ben Simmons going back, he's going to be hearing it from the crowd, but the Nets are starting to put it together. Obviously, Kyrie's come back now, but I still think this team has high upside, and obviously with the walking wounded over there in Philly, I could only look towards the Nets here, and I do think that that Ben Simmons will build on that in the last game. Obviously, they get out in transition. He can get easy dunks in there, and he can't be afraid to go to the basket. Even if you go 1 for 1 from the free throw line, you just can't be afraid, man. So he's starting to get more comfortable out there. I think he'll have a good game. I think AC will cash with the Nets in this one.
Well, I hope so, man. Sean, did you catch that, man? Jay, what do you have against Doc, man? Catching some strays right there.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, come on now. It's not a secret, man. This guy is not. He's not an elite head coach. It is what it is. I mean, he can get you by, or he can get you. I mean, maybe what top 4 seed in the playoffs, but when it matters, he's going up against guys like Spoelstra and the other heavyweights of the league. It's a mismatch. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. The proof is in the pudding, no doubt there. One thing about Simmons I also want to touch on is he had 5 turnovers in the game, but that didn't slow him up. He continued to attack, 11 of 13 from the floor. I'm interested to see how he does at the line when he gets there. He's eventually going to have to get there if he keeps going to the line and is attacking the basket like he has been the last couple of games. We know he struggled there. He didn't have to go to the line 11 for 13, but I was encouraged with him turning the ball over and not kind of shriveling up, going into like a recluse and just not asking for the ball after that. So he's wanting for it. I wonder if that too was going into the Philly game. He was just trying to get a little thing going before he went into Philly, because we know it's going to be a hostile environment. And say what you want about the whole situation, it's more mental than obviously physical. So maybe he was trying to build some confidence going into the Philly game, and we'll see how he comes out of there. So it's interesting slate. Lakers still losing, but they come off a big win the other night. And now they come off of now they play a Suns team who they're kind of wish-washy. What are your thoughts on the Suns really quick, both of you guys, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, my thoughts real quick. Obviously the Suns all over the place. I mean, they have some injuries as well. We knew Aiden kind of going back and forth with the Suns. With the coach as well. They have a high ceiling. It's just they're kind of a middle of the pack team. I do see Devin Booker really turning up as well. It's hard to stop him. So whether they cashing tickets or not, you have to look at some Devin Booker props of just the way he's putting his head down and really getting to the rim. Obviously he's money from mid range as well, starting to hit his 3. But the way he can draw fouls, he's basically a good for 20-25 every single night. So that's what I look at for the Suns. Obviously Chris Paul's been in and out of the lineup. So a campaign has really been cashing. So when Chris Paul does come back, obviously it's going to be faith, because they're going to have to get used to playing with him once again. But Devin Booker points, that's what I'm looking at with the Suns.
Yeah, you mentioned Cameron Payne. So he and Russell Westbrook used to be teammates back in OKC like 10 years ago. I don't know if you guys remember. They used to do the dance.
Yeah, you're making me feel old, man.
Cam Payne takes it personal when he plays Russ. So I'm looking at campaign props tomorrow. I think it's at 17.5. You would never expect his point prop to be that high. I think it's high for a reason. I lean Phoenix there. I'm not playing it, but I would lean the Suns there, especially if the Nets get the win. Because when it comes to 2 national TV games, and this is more for like my own thing, is I like one road and one home team to win. So it would be the Suns or nothing at all if the Nets cash.
Yeah, I like it. One thing I want to see from Devin is he has these games where he's extremely locked in. It's like, okay, I'm just going to score and get to any spot I want and get shots up. And then in those games, he'll shoot tons of free throws, 9 free throws, 15 free throws. He shot the other night. There was a game like maybe 10 days ago. He was 11 of 14 from the line. But then mixed in, he has games where he takes 2 free throws. The game against the Knicks the other night, he took 1. Then he has 2 free throws. So it's almost like, hey, I'm just going to turn it on an attack and do what I got to do for us to get a win. And when he gets to the line, they get W's. That's simple as that. And he gets it done. I would love to see him just consistently get to the line 8-9 times a game, because we know when he wants to score, he can get it done. All right, AC, recap it for us one more time. Your best bets. I know you have 3. Jay, we'll let you do the same, and then we'll get out of here.
Yep, I'm going to start the night with Nets -7. They're on the road against Philly. Kings +1, and correlated with that bet is going to be Sabonis over 5.5 assists.
I like it, Jay.
Yeah, I could not talk you off that, man. Yeah, just one play for me. I've been eyeing this one. Even the Kings here, +1, money line, whatever. I do think this one will move, and they'll probably close as the favorite here, but they've lost 7 straight to the Grizzlies here. It's time to get back. It's time to get some revenge here, man. ×7. Rocking with the Kings here to keep it going. Obviously, they're heading on the road for the first time in a while after being at the house, but I'm still rocking when they're hot right now. I think they're going to keep it going. Last game, they didn't play well, still got the win. The coach got onto them as well. That's what you want to see as well, not getting comfortable on the winning streak. So give me the Kings here to keep that winning streak going. +1. I think the wrong team is favored in this one, my guys.
All right. The boys love the Kings tonight. This is our Tuesday edition of Buckets, Action Network's NBA Best Bets podcast. For me, I'm Sean Little. Make sure you follow our guys on the Action Network app on Twitter. J Money is Money, and AC at Analytics Capper. I am Chicago Flow on the Action Network app and on Twitter. Lock in with us for our guys at FanDuel. This is the Tuesday edition of Buckets. Let's get some money.